What up, gamers? It's Will777JP back at it again with another one. And man, we haven't done one of these videos in a while. I'm so glad to be doing one of these, man. I love talking about games. And we're doing another My Collection top 3 picks from row 7 today. Now, I had to jerry rig this camera set up here a little bit because the row that we're going to be talking about today is all the way at the bottom. And this freaking camera stand only goes so low. So I got a setup here with some games as a freaking base to hold this thing together. So please excuse me if the camera falls over or something like that. But either way, maybe we'll save, if it does flip over, we'll save that clip for another blooper reel. But man, announcement. The channel has officially hit 500 subscribers. Let's go, man. That's insane to me. That is insane to me, man. Just 7-8 months ago, I started this YouTube channel. I didn't think it would grow this big, man. I really haven't. So you guys are showing me a whole bunch of support and love. And man, let's just keep it going. Let's keep going harder and stronger. Put out more content. You guys are so active, man. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, questions, concerns, so we can make this thing better for everybody. All right. So before I get started, thank you. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. Also, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date whenever I drop videos, which is daily. All right, let's get into it, man. So we've done row all the way at the bottom to the left there, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, and now we're doing row 7 at the very bottom. Now, the last row was kind of a weak row, in my opinion. It wasn't as good as some of the other rows that I do have here in my collection. But row 7 is way better. Way better. Also, row 7 is where PlayStation 4 ends and PS5 games begin. So right here. So yes, we're going to include those PS5 games in this row because they're part of this row. So, another thing too. I have amassed, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 12 more physical games that are not displayed in my collection because I am out of space, y'all. I got to get another one of these things. What are they called? Whatever. Video game case holders or whatever they are. I gotta get another one of them, man. I am completely full. But once I get that one in, then we'll reorganize some of these games, and some of the games that are in row 1, for example, will be in row 2, so on and so forth. Each row holds 20 games. So if you do the math, I got 12 or 13 games that we got to sneak in there, so there's going to be a few changes. But that's neither here or there because we're still going to go over them. And we're going to finish off the PS4 section of my collection, starting to the PS5 section with row 7. Alright, so the very first one in row 7 here, I'm going to go over with you guys one more time, all the games that are in row 7, and then I'm going to pick my top 3 of this row. And for those of you guys who are new here or haven't seen one of these videos in a while, what I like to do is I like to pick 3 games from each row that I really love, that I think are better than everything else in that specific row. Not in my whole collection, just in that row. Also, excuse me, I'm out of breath. Also, according to some of your comments, you want me to list them, my number 1, my number 2, and my number 3. So before, the way that I did it was I just gave you my top 3. Not numbered in any specific order, just my top 3. But you guys want me to tell you my number 1, my number 2, my number 3. That's going to be super hard for me because I don't look at games as, this one's better than this one or that one. Of course, there are some things that are better than other games, but I like to look at the bigger thing. Let me take that back. I like to look at what each game brings to the table. That's why I do it that way. But you guys want to see it, so we're going to go ahead and do that and pick. We're going to start from 3 to 1. All right, so let me show you the games that I have here in this row first, and then we'll go ahead with my top 3. So we have The Evil Within, the first one. We have The Evil Within, the second one. We have Stardew Valley right here. We got The Last of Us Part 2. So you can tell this row is pretty tough. Next one is The Order. Next one is Outer Worlds, which Outer Worlds 2 releases in a couple months. The Walking Dead, what is this? The Telltale Definitive Edition. We have The Witcher 3. We then have Trine 4, or its Ultimate Collection with Trine 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then have Turok, the first Turok. Then we have the second Turok, or I'm sorry, the third Turok. I still got to get the second one to add to the collection here. Untitled Goose Game. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection. War Mongrels. Wolfenstein. What's this called? This collection is called. I don't think this collection has a name. Yeah, it's just, but it has the New Order and the Old Blood. Then we have Wonder Boy, Ashad in Monster World. We have Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. Then we have A Tale of Paper, Refolded. We then have A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead. And then finally, in this row, we have A Plague's Tale Requiem. Now, I own the first A Plague's Tale digitally. I got it for free on PlayStation, but I don't own the physical copy, which has been on my wish list waiting for it to go on sale. Alright, so this row is going to be a little bit complicated, right? Because I haven't beaten every single game on this row. And I'm going to give you guys an example of one that's going to be controversial. The Witcher 3. That's going to be super controversial because that's not in my top 3. Reason it's not in my top 3 is because I never beat it. Yes, I played it. Yes, I got about 20 hours into it. Those of you guys that have played that game knows that 20 hours is basically nothing. But I have 20 hours in there, and I'm not going to include it because I haven't finished it, so I haven't got the full experience yet. Now, I say I have beaten 85 to 90% of the games on here. Actually, a little bit less than that. About 75% of the games that I have in this row. The games that I haven't beaten, for example, are The Evil Within, The Walking Dead Telltale, The Goose Game, War Mongrels. Those are the only games that I have. Oh, and Yakuza 6, which I haven't beaten, and I haven't played, really. I played the first Evil Within for a little bit, but then I stopped. And obviously The Witcher, I've beaten, or I mean I played, but I haven't beaten. But just those that I mentioned, I haven't beaten, and I haven't even played. Actually, let me take that back, because the Goose Game I did play on PS Plus for about an hour. So let me go ahead and start with number 3. My third top game of this row is A Plague's Tale Requiem. Now, I will admit that the story for A Plague's Tale Requiem isn't as good as the first one. I understand that 1000%. But the second one was phenomenal. The combat was fun. The story was fun. The relationship between Alicia and Hugo, brother sisters, it's just phenomenal. You know what I mean? I have a younger sister, so I understand that sibling connection. But the way the visuals of the game, the music, I mean, there's so many good things in that game. If you have not played A Plague's Tale Requiem, I highly recommend it, man. Highly recommend it. They even sell a bundle pack where you can get the first A Plague's Tale and A Plague's Tale Requiem together. Last time I seen it for a physical version, I think it was right around 30 or 40 bucks. To me, that's worth it. But if you want to wait a little bit longer till it goes a little bit cheaper, go ahead. But I think eventually they're gonna stop producing that game, and then digital will be the only way you get it, unless you get a pre-owned copy. But man, A Plague's Tale Requiem, phenomenal. I think another thing that I really like about this game too is the uh, the medieval vibes. I love games with medieval, and you will see that when I pick my number two game of this row. Let's put this bad boy back. My number two game of this row is, and this is a hard one, mind you, this is a hard one, but I'm gonna have to go with The Order 1886. Wow, what a game. Now, the frustrating part about this game is that this game came out, 12 years ago, and there isn't a sequel. The game is a little bit on the short side. I think it's right around 6 to 8 hours long. But what an impact did those 6 to 8 hours make on me? So this is another one where it has like a medieval kind of vibe. Maybe, well, obviously not medieval, it's 1800s. But man, I really, really like that era because it's like right at the precipice of technology and how we are in today's world with how advanced technology is, and back in the old world and old technology. But this game is very unique, y'all. It's constantly on sale on PlayStation Store for like $5 to $10. Highly, highly recommended, man. You play as these characters who are part of an order, and what they do is they hunt down creatures like werewolves and vampires and creatures of the night. Super, super interesting, man. The game holds up. Even all these years later, the game holds up. I played the game digitally online, and I loved it so much that I had to get myself a physical copy. I wanted that game to be part of my collection for sure. But man, I highly recommend it. The visuals hold up really well. The gameplay is fun, but the story is freaking amazing, y'all. It's just a creative world, like this feels like a game that if I was a kid trying to figure out what kind of game I would invent, what story, this would be it. And now to my number one game of this row is, and I'm cheating here because there's a few of them, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection. That is my number one game. To this day, I go back and play Uncharted, all the Uncharted games from start to finish, from Uncharted 1 all the way to Uncharted 4, at least once every year and a half or so, or every 2 years. I just love Nathan Drake. I love his story. I love the exploring. I love the combat. When I think of Naughty Dog, I think of Uncharted. Now, I know that's going to be controversial because right over here we have The Last of Us, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But especially Uncharted 2. So in this game, in this disc, you get Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3. That's why I'm saying I'm cheating. But even if there wasn't all three games, I would still pick Uncharted as my number one. Uncharted 2 may be my favorite, but it's a tie between that one and Uncharted 4. Just because Uncharted 4 is so modern, the graphics look amazing and all that. But man, such good story, such good gameplay. I just love it, man. If you never played Uncharted, you need to play it. And by the way, I didn't play Uncharted until the very first time was in 2020 when Uncharted 4 got or 2020 2021 when Uncharted got remastered for the PS5, the Legacy collection. What's it called? Uncharted. Let me see if I can see it over here. But it's called Legacy of Thieves. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Uncharted. Yeah, right here. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. So this was my first introduction to Uncharted. I mean, I've known of Uncharted. I remember going to visit my cousin and he would be playing Uncharted. It just never really grabbed my attention, but at that time I was a young man, I was like 16, 17, 18 years old. I wasn't really interested in video games at that point. I was more interested in girls and making money. So all that went by me. It wasn't until my adult age that I got into Uncharted. So as soon as I beat Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, I went back, played Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, which we got free on PlayStation Plus, played all those, played Uncharted 4 again, and 6 months later, played them again. 6 months later, play them all again. And now I've kind of, give it more space, so I'm not playing it every 6 months. So after 2022, I've been playing them every year and a half or so. Like, I just played them about a year ago. But man, phenomenal freaking IP. Now, to get into some honorable mentions here, right? Because obviously there's some player games in here as well that you guys would have picked way more than the ones that I picked, right? Like, for example, The Last of Us Part 2. Now, The Last of Us Part 2, I've beaten twice. My problem with The Last of Us 2 is the story. Outside of the story, the freaking game is obviously top tier, man. It's in a class of its own, right? The gameplay, the mechanics, the visuals, the music, all that stuff is top of the line. But the story really, really bothers me. Now, I'm not bothered by Joel's death. I think Joel's death was the next natural, step that should have happened. Me personally, I would have killed him off towards the end, give him a freaking hero's death, and then continue with the third game with Ellie, right? During the game, you play as both, but the thing that really messes up the story for me is a couple different things, but the main one is just how they killed Joel and why they killed Joel. To me, it makes no sense. You're in the apocalypse where people are killing each other for less than what Joel killed the doctor for, right? For way less than that. And yet, the protagonist, Abby, she not only wants to get in her mind that she wants revenge, right? Okay, fine. But two, she finds Joel, right, in a world where there's no communication, there's no cell phones, there's no, it's all word of mouth. She happens to find Joel. And then also, when she finds him, it's like a needle in a haystack. She just happened to come across his ass. It's just like, come on, bro. Most people have a hard time finding their damn car keys. You're telling me that Abby finds Joel all these years later. So not only did she get leave from her little freaking WLF group that she was in to travel across the country to look for somebody who may not be dead, who may or may not be dead already. You know what I mean? And that people will be willing to give up that information, right? And also that her leader would let her go for God knows how long, right? Because she could find Joel in a week, or she could never find Joel and she'll be searching for how many years. It's just, I don't know, just that falls apart for me. Then the other thing that falls apart for me is Abby gets her vengeance. Ellie doesn't. And Ellie loses way more than Abby ever did, right? So it's just a couple little things like that that really piss me off about the story. If we didn't have the story in here, The Last of Us Part 2 would definitely be in my top 3 for sure of this row. But those things definitely screw it up for me. Of course, we have the Witcher 3. We all know that's a classic. That's a banger. Everybody knows that. I just can't pick it because I haven't beaten it yet. And I'm not going to be like IGN reviewers who only play the first 10 hours of a game and tell you all about it like it's the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. No, I need to get the whole experience. Another one that I want to give an honorable mention to that people may not believe it or not is actually The Outer Worlds. And I just beat this game recently. I think I beat it... Oh man, it was probably around holiday time, 2024. But man, I actually really like this game. The writing is very quirky. I really like that. It's very funny. And I actually like the gameplay a lot. I'm really, really looking forward to The Outer Worlds Part 2 that comes out this year. But there y'all have it, man. I don't want to keep yapping and talking about, my top 3 or whatever. But you guys see my games here in this row 7. If you were making this video and you were to pick your top 3, which out of these games right here would you pick? I know a lot of people are going to disagree with my choices, but hey, A Plague Tale Requiem at number 3. Then we have freaking The Order 1886 as number 2. And then, of course, we have the Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection as number 1. Well, there y'all have it, folks. Thank you so much for being here, man. I really, really do appreciate you guys. And yeah, soon I will be making another one of these, my collection, row 8, which is up here. Give you guys a preview, and then I'll pick my top 3 out of that row. And in this row, dude, I have beaten like 90% of the game. So that's going to be a tough one to pick out my top 3. But there y'all have it, man. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you stay up to date whenever I post videos. And we'll catch you in the next one. Keep it gaming.